Hello everyone. In the previous class, we have discussed about diffusion current and drift current. In today's class, we will discuss about reverse bias breakdown. So as you can see from the figure, the reverse biased breakdown is shown in a PN junction diode. So P and N are connected in forward bias as well as reverse bias. When P is connected to positive of the battery and N is connected to the negative of the battery, it is forward biased. And when P is connected to negative of the battery and N is connected to the positive of the battery, this is nothing but a reverse biased connection. So in today's class, we are going to discuss about the reverse bias breakdown. So a PN junction biased in a reverse direction produces a small current. So as you can see from the graph, in forward bias the current is increasing. So as V increases at certain point of time, current increases very sharply. But in reverse direction, a PN junction biased in reverse direction, a very small current is going to flow. But when a critical reverse bias is reached after some point of time, when a particular voltage, that is called as critical reverse bias voltage VBR, that is shown in the figure. So when that point is reached, a reverse breakdown occurs as shown in the figure. So you can observe the figure. VBR is marked, so that is a critical reverse biased voltage VBR. So when that point is reached, a reverse current through the diode increases very sharply. So you can observe reverse breakdown current. So earlier the negligible current was flowing in the reverse bias, but as the voltage reached to the VBR, that is critical voltage or the breakdown voltage, current increases very sharply. So and very large current can flow with the little further increase in the voltage. So even with a small change, small increase in the voltage in that direction, the very large current will flow. So the maximum reverse current which can flow in the device is shown in above figure is a maximum reverse current which can flow in the device as shown in above figure is E minus VBR divided by R. So E is nothing but it is a battery voltage, VBR is a breakdown voltage, and R is a resistance, that is a series resistance. The series resistance R can be chosen to limit the current to a safe level for the particular diode used. If the current is not limited externally, the function can be damaged. So the junction can be damaged by excessive reverse current. So reverse breakdown can occur by two mechanisms. So both out of both which require a critical electric field in the junction transition region. The first one is the Zener effect and the second one is the avalanche breakdown. So these are going to take place in the reverse direction. So Zener effect it is going to take place because it operates at a low voltages. So this Zener effect operates at a low voltages, that is up to few volts reverse bias. In the reverse bias up to few volts, but whereas avalanche breakdown occurs at higher voltages, that is from few volts to thousands of volts. The first one is the Zener effect or Zener breakdown. So the figure shows the Zener effect. So there are three figures here. The first one, figure A, shows heavily doped junction at equilibrium. Second one, reverse bias with tunneling from P to N. And the third one is the VI characteristics or IV characteristics. The Zener effect is a type of electrical breakdown that occurs in a reverse biased PN junction. So whenever the electric field enables tunneling of electrons from the valence band to the conduction band of a diode or semiconductor, which leads to a large number of free minority carriers, which suddenly increase the reverse current. So Zener effect is going to be take down in it is an electrical breakdown that is going to occur during a reverse biased PN junction. So whenever electric field enables the tunneling effect, tunneling of electrons from the valence band to the conduction band of a semiconductor or a diode, which leads to a very large number of minority carriers. So in P, the minority carriers are electrons. In N, the minority carriers are holes. So these free minority carriers which suddenly increase the reverse current. So when heavily doped junction is reverse biased, so remember here the Zener effect is going to take place in a heavily doped junction. So when a heavily doped junction is reverse biased, the N side conduction band appears opposite the P side valence band. So see the figure B. The N side of the conduction band that appears opposite the P side valence band. So as you can observe there, N side conduction band. So the right side is the N side and the left side is the P side. So N side conduction band appears opposite the P side valence band. So if the barrier separating these two bands is narrow, then tunneling of electrons can occur. So that marking is shown, that is tunneling from P to N. So tunneling of electrons from P side valence band to the N side conduction band constitutes a reverse current from N to P. So that effect is nothing but a Zener effect. And the figure C shows the IV characteristics. So in the forward bias, it is normal. In the reverse bias, when VBR, the voltage VBR is reached, a sharp rise in the current. So that is shown in the VI characteristics. So as I told you, Zener effect occurs in a reverse biased junctions, and Zener breakdown occurs in a heavily doped junction in which, remember, depletion region is very thin. So breakdown is due to electron quantum tunneling caused by high strength electric field. Since the tunneling probability depends upon the width of the barrier. So in the previous figure, the width of the barrier is denoted as D. It is important that the metallurgical junction be sharp and doping high, so that transition region W extends only a very short distance from each side of the junction. As the bands are closed, as we have seen in the previous figure, where the conduction band, N side conduction band and P side valence band are opposite to each other. So that is, they are crossed. So as the bands are crossed, the tunneling distance D may be too large, but D becomes smaller as the reverse bias is increased, because The higher electric field results in a steeper slopes for the band edges. So this assumes that the transition region width W does not increase. Next one is the avalanche breakdown. So similar to the Zener breakdown, avalanche breakdown also occurs in the reverse biased junction direction. So avalanche occurs with lightly doped PN junction. So remember, this is with the comparison with the Zener effect. Zener breakdown occurs for the heavily doped PN junctions, whereas avalanche breakdown occurs for the lightly doped junctions. As reverse voltage increases, a point is reached where the current increases dramatically, therefore dynamic resistance decreases. So here also the current, that is going to be a VBR, reverse breakdown current, reverse breakdown voltage VBR, whenever that point is reached. So this is, in this case, in the avalanche breakdown, VBR is much higher than the VBR in Zener diode. Zener diode, it operates for a lower voltages, whereas in the avalanche breakdown it operates for the higher voltages. If Zener breakdown does not take place, then it is sure that the avalanche breakdown will take place at the some higher voltage. So as reverse voltage increases, a point is reached where current increases dramatically, therefore dynamic resistance decreases. So as the current increases in the reverse direction, the dynamic resistance is going to decrease. Avalanche breakdown causes high flow of current under reverse bias condition. Similar to the Zener breakdown, avalanche breakdown also causes very high flow of current under the reverse bias condition. So this thick depletion region causes high electric field and tremendous acceleration. So here the depletion region is going to be thick and it causes high electric field and a very high acceleration. So very few electrons make it through depletion region with high velocity. So avalanche breakdown occurs in lightly doped PN junctions. Remember this, whenever the reverse voltage increases. Further, it is difficult to control this phenomenon as the number of charge carriers generated cannot be directly controlled here. Moreover, the avalanche breakdown voltage has positive temperature coefficient. Remember here, avalanche breakdown voltage has a positive temperature coefficient. So what is the meaning of this? So that is, avalanche breakdown voltage increases with the increase in the junction temperature. So as the junction temperature increases, the avalanche breakdown voltage also increases. So we know that a certain amount of minimum current flowing through the PN junction under reverse bias condition. So normally a small current is going to flow whenever the diode is in a reverse bias condition. So this current is referred as the reverse saturation current. The small current is known as reverse saturation current, and it is due to the minority charge carriers in the semiconductor device. But after reaching that particular point, that is VBR, critical voltage, a junction breakdown which leads to a heavy flow of reverse current through the device. So this is because the magnitude of the reverse voltage increases. The kinetic energy of the minority charge carrier also increases. So these fast moving electrons collide with each other. So these are the fast moving atoms. So these fast moving electrons collide with each other. Collide with each other atom in the device to knock off some few more electrons from them because they have gained the high velocity. So these fast moving electrons are going to be collide with each other in the device, the atoms. So therefore they are going to kick off some more electrons from the device. They are going to be detached. So the electrons so released, so whichever those electrons that are going to be released further release much more electrons from the atom by breaking the covalent bonds. So so the number of electrons go on increasing here by breaking the covalent bonds. So this process is known as carrier multiplication. So these electrons collide with atoms in the depletion region and free more electrons. So this process is nothing but carrier multiplication, as the carriers or electrons are getting more and more in very large number. So this process is called as carrier multiplication, and this results to a considerable increase in the flow of current through the PN junction. So the associated phenomenon is called as avalanche breakdown. So this process itself is called as avalanche breakdown. So the efficiency of the avalanche breakdown can be expressed in terms of multiplication factor M. So that is shown in the figure. Multiplication factor M is given by M is equal to 1 divided by 1 minus magnitude of V divided by VBR raised to N, where the exponent N varies from 3 to 6 depending on the type of material used for the junction. Here V and VBR represents the applied voltage and the breakdown voltage respectively. Thank you for watching the video.